Hello again. So this is like I think video number 5 about medicine wheel. It's right now. I was thinking about doing that, but I think I'm gonna go physical. It's gonna be work, choices, sex, and rest. So these 3 things in the physical world: work, choices, sex, and rest. The work we perform, which this was work, this was work, this was work, and this is work. And sometimes in life, the work that we do doesn't always pan out. This I suck at. The work that I put into this stuff, I just pick the wrong people. The people that I allow into my life don't appreciate that at all. And that's okay, not a problem. This is where I have been working and putting a lot of work into. And the work was just coming to terms with the experience so that I can understand how to become emotionally intelligent. And then I allow certain knowledge into my life. And it kind of just all the understanding, work. In order to create understanding, it requires work. My choices, well, as of recently, have sucked. And I am pretty secure in my sex. I know who I am. And right now I'm resting. Resting is kind of extremely important. Without rest, our bodies aren't at 100%. And so all of those put together, work, choices, sex, and rest, that creates our physical being, where we go in forward. And I don't mean just physical being like our bodies. I mean, that's a huge point. That's what sex is for. But the work that we choose to do, my work that I have done to generate money is I'm a tree climber, logger by trade. I've been doing that for the better part of 20 years now. There's a lot of physical attributes. If I wasn't born into the sex that I am, I wouldn't be as proficient and good at it. And I don't care what people say. There is a major difference between men and women, what we are born as. If you don't like that, fuck off. Excuse my French. This is not meant for kids. It's meant for the parents. So with that, there is a huge difference. Men are built differently. Our bodies are built differently. We have different chemicals that naturally flow through our body. I have testosterone, a little bit of estrogen, just like everything, just like every other man. Women have estrogen and a little bit of testosterone, just like for every man, a woman. And if you stop and you think about it, woman is still part man. And man, we're just missing the whoa. But that's just kind of how it works. So right now in this world, to make a better society, these choices, one that parents are making, I mean, it's like, guys, come on, choices. Make those better choices. Quit forcing whatever it is that you're lacking inside of your life onto your children, and vice versa. I mean, what's going on in the way the parents are raising their kids is crazy. They're forcing their kids to become different sexes. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. You're born a woman, you're born a man, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you were meant to be born a woman, then you would have been born a woman. If you were meant to be born a man, then you would have been born a man. If, as parents, you were meant to have boys, then you would have had a boy. If you were meant to have a daughter, then you would have had a daughter. It's just kind of how it works, It's the luck of the draw. I have 6 children, and I have 6 daughters, to be exact. God did not bless me with a son. He blessed me with daughters. Why? Because there was something I was supposed to learn, to be kinder, to be gentler, to be whatever. I'm a climber logger by trade, and we're not exactly soft people. Soft kind of a breed. We're pretty rough, gruff, and tough. We're glutton for punishment. we like to get beaten, battered, bloodied, and bruised. I mean, and then get up the next day and do it all over again, regardless of how tired we are and how much pain we're in. Our bodies, we just don't even think about it. We just get up and go. So softness is not built into me. And the way I was raised, I'm not supposed to be soft, you know, like the young person that gets beaten as a child. Going back to an extraction of blessings from one of my previous videos. That extraction of blessings is what is important. That blessing, that kid that got beaten, bad situation, extraction of blessing. They're tough now, you know. They can take a beating, you know, get up and then take another one. It's just made them tough, not only mentally, but also physically. I personally would rather take a physical beating than a mental beating, because the mental beating, it takes a lot longer to overcome, you know, PTSD, all those things. So now we're going to go to the connection, this and this, you know, our choices affects this. It affects this. This is the main, this world and this world get affected majorly, you know. The work, you know, men should be getting up and going to work to support their families. This isn't happening. A lot of women are working. This is also affecting this, because mothers have to get up and go to work now. It takes two parents working in order to raise a family and to pay the bills. That's crazy. It's not okay. We shouldn't be in that situation right now, because we need more parents at home. We need a mother in the house, or a father, one of the two. One of my best friends, him and I grew up together and have been friends ever for 30 plus years. He's a stay-at-home dad, and he has great children, wonderful children. I love them to death. They're great kids. And his wife goes to work, but he raises the family. So his work is family, and his family is his work, and vice versa for male and female. You know, work, choices, sex, rest. You know, certain experiences in this life, you know, and these are all inseparably connected. The knowledge that we're forcing onto people about the sex, that needs to rest, because it's absolutely asinine. It's crazy. No, it's not okay. And I've gotten into conversations with people, oh no, there's animals that do this stuff in the wild, and no, there isn't. I've looked all over the place, and the only animal I found is the penguin. But that's because the wives are out getting the fish, and they stay home, but they get lonely, and they cuddle up with another man. You know, it's not like they're, you know, bumping their uglies together and doing those things. They're cuddling. So whatever. But we need to go back. Now, there's new stuff that needs to progress forward in life, but there is some old stuff in this lifetime that needs to be brought back to the surface. Why? Because the new stuff that we're making in today's day and age is not progressing. We're trying to put our stamp on society, put our stamp on the history books, you know, to vindicate ourselves so that, you know, we can be something special in our own minds, or become a hero or a legend in our own mind. That doesn't matter. We don't need to do it that way. What needs to happen is we need to teach children, you know. I have daughters, and one of them is a tomboy, which is fine and dandy, whatever. But she also knows that she's a girl, that she's a woman, you know. You want to be a tomboy and try to be rough, gruff, and tough, and so be it. And you feel like you're that you were born in the wrong body, when no, you were not. And it all stems back to the relationship with God, period. I mean, if God intended us to be born a woman, then we would have been born a woman. God intended us to be born a man, well, you're born a man. It's how it works. We need to get that back again, because it's crazy. It's not okay. I'm going to say that over and over again. It's not okay. You know, this, as I've said, this is ill because of a lack of this. You know, parents, your knowledge, experience, and emotions, you know, the experience that you had when you were younger. I didn't feel like a little boy, so I became a woman. I didn't feel like a little girl, so I became a man. You know, you are doing something to your body that is going to affect it for the rest of your life. You know, your body was not intended to have an estrogen or testosterone, and if it wasn't, it was not meant to. So start introducing that stuff into your body by taking pills. Well, you're charting in dangerous territory. But society has been charting dangerous territory and treading deep waters for quite a few years now. And, well, it's got to stop. 100% has to stop. And so, how do we stop it? How do we stop this? How do we start making these changes? Well, you get brutally honest. You know, God is truth. And in the physical world, this world here, in order, we can learn a lot about what God intended for us. So you look at this physical world, you look at the way it's built, look to the animals, look to the fishes of the sea, the fowls of the air, you know, the birds, and they will teach thee. Even in trees, you have to have a male female. There's species, and you have to have a male and a female. Now they can change, trees change, but we're not trees. We're mammals. You know, we're not plants. We're mammals. Certain reptilians do that as well. And so, but we're not reptiles. We're males, mammals. Like, you know, they will teach you. But here's the thing. Some of the stuff that they're going to teach us is not what we are intended for. We are not reptiles. We are mammal. We are not birds. We are mammals. And so we need to pull our heads out of our asses. All of us, including myself. Every single one of us have to. And so as we progress forward in the years to come, we're going to have problems if we don't stop. You know, if we don't stop. Because we have children, the next generation, people that don't have leadership ability. I mean, they have leadership ability, or they think they do, but they really don't, because they're not in alignment with who God is, what God is. And so as we progress forward with these videos and me trying to make a change in what I can, and the way that I really don't know how, but I'm going to try. You know, this is out of whack. This is out of whack. This is out of whack. The choices we make dictate the lives we lead. You know, the choice I've made with the time that I've wasted to generate relationships and create families, you know, that was my choice. The work that I put in to the Spirit brought me closer to Him. The sex that I am is going to be different. The experiences, it's going to be different knowledge, different emotions, right? Men, we tend to get angry when we're emotionally overwhelmed, where women tend to cry. You know, anger is a form of manipulation. Crying is also a form of manipulation. And so as we move forward through this series and this idea of medicine wheel that I've been learning, and it's phase 2 of it, I've put in the work for it. Now it's time to let those seeds, you know, those seeds are germinated, and now it's time to flourish. So we need to fix this. We need to come to terms with who we were born as and accept it. Acceptance, you know, personal responsibility and accountability. I was born this. And I am personally responsible and accountable for that. I'm also personally responsible and accountable for this and this, right? Thoughts, words, actions. My thoughts become words, my words become actions. Our actions towards this is wrong. Now, I'm going to go down the road of a little bit with the differences of the sexes. I don't know women, and I'm not going to pretend to because I was born man, but our relationships between the two are fractured majorly. Families are falling apart. 83% of all divorces are initiated by women right now.